Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Oh, for crying out loud. And Daz has just exploded because apparently we didn't synchronize. I don't know what the problem is here. We should have synchronized. Yes. What? Why would you do part of it? Oh boy. Daz just flipped out. It's all right. We got it. And just for some reason, it hadn't quite figured out where it was supposed to be, I think, but it got it. It got there in the end. It just didn't. It loaded 30% of what it was after. There we go. Let's get some music going. Hey, check it out, Shakrana. We got a Shakrana. Look at our Shakrana. Isn't he cute? There we go. And there he's got his uniform going for him. So there he is. So now we have one of our alien races. And now what I need to do is figure out how to make a figure of him. Because we've got him going in here just fine. I need that actually right there. There. Like so. You're only saying that because you're not a Shakrana. I mean, like, crab legs sound good. You know, if he could flip you off, he would. I think that's funny. Okay, I'm done. So, but we did put him in a Unity uniform. So he's got a legit Unity uniform now. And the gray, by the way, is enlisted. The blue is officers. We haven't seen enlisted personnel yet. So, but that's a gray uniform is enlisted. All right. So we will, well, okay, let's see if it's easy to figure out how to do this to make a character out of this. Right? Like, is it? Do we know? Has anybody tried? It totally could. Totally could. Active pose tool. Region navigator. I don't know. There's a lot of tools here that I'm not sure I know how to make work. Like, we turn on a joint editor. And I know, oh, well, gosh, that's not even square. Look at that. Oof. Nobody even knows where the heck that's going. Ugh. Yep. So I got a banana. I'm eating a banana. You know, humans eat more bananas than monkeys. I don't know when the last time I ate a monkey was. So it's true. Bananas. Tell your friends. Okay. Okay. We're going to have to figure something out here. I think okay, so we kind of need to do this anyway. What's region navigator say? That's a region. Okay, well, that's what it told me. Good job. Spot render, node, active pose. Active pose? It doesn't know what all these are. This is not helping me any. It's probably not animate. Okay, so universal. So connect, no, render, edit, figure, inverse kinetics, no. Object, change parent, no. View, no. Group like sibling instances. Okay. Hair based, strand based, no. None of that's going to help us. I don't think it's this important, really. Yeah, it's been a lonely night twice this week. I had I don't know where Raph went. Raph just jumped off a planet. Colton was on last night, which was good. But I think what I'll do, the other thing we need to do is give him Sergeant Stripes because he doesn't have Sergeant Stripes. Right? But I have completely forgotten what the Sergeant Stripes look like because we invented them like 100 years ago. So we're going to go into world building real quick and get our Unity ranks up so we can see what Sergeant Stripes look like. Okay. Now we'll go into here. And we'll go back to textures, aliens, and Shakrana Unity. All right. Yeah. So there we go. So here are all of our stripes. And he's a non-com. So I feel like he's like a first sergeant. He's not a master sergeant. He's a sergeant or a first sergeant. He's somewhere right in here. Right? I mean, that's... Yeah, I don't know where Raph went. Raph's doing Raph stuff. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to give him his sergeant stripes. And that'll be fine. Usually the chevrons would be on his wrist, which are down here. So it's kind of interesting how we're setting a precedent on these things. Right. He's Gravitic's radio control. His, her, I guess they, because there's 3 genders. And so elephant, rhino, we're never going to figure this out. Because of course everything that happens with Shakrana is in 3s. So and then yeah, we need to do that differently. You know what we could do? We could just open this page. And well, okay, so one thing to note. Yeah, you're probably right. One thing to note is we should, no, that's not the tool we wanted. That's the tool we wanted. We should note, because we could just copy this. Right. Once we copied it, correct. I think it should be on the wrists and the shell. So I think you're right. First, let's make sure it's the right size. There we go. Now, because it's chakrana, it's going to be in all three wrists. So there's that. That is useful. Yep. It does. We probably going to have to do something to mute the emergency line, but we'll get there. We'll do this so that's on the top of the shell too. Hello, Donald. Were you here to see the actual unveiling of the actual chakrana? Just, you know what I'll do is I'll just make this black under the rank. They'll have hey, somebody's joining. Colton's joining. Well, but the paint's not permanent. So I mean, well, it's permanent, but they've got specialized for this. We're discussing whether they have dress uniforms.
Your characters?
Yeah, whether Chakrana will wear dress uniforms. You want to see the Chakrana? Sure.
Good night. I go to sleep.
You're going to sleep now. Look.
That is the message from Maya.
Hey, Donald.
Look at this. This is my Chakrana. This is one of my aliens.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool? He's waving. Hi. But yeah, so that's what we're discussing is whether he's got a dress uniform. And I think that they would have a Chakrana dress so that when they're, because they just repaint their shell, but repainting their shell is like us changing clothes. It's not very complicated or difficult.
Right.
So,
and to answer your question, Brent, yes, it is concept art and with 3D modeling and environment design for entertainment, really, but it's primarily focused on video games.
So, but I do think they would have a dress. So that's we're just finishing that statement there.
Nice.
Now I feel better. I had to finish this statement. We're just putting in his rank because he's a sergeant. And this is actually good because I don't feel like this guy was straight, and I feel like the old sergeant would definitely have that straight on his wrists because he's an old cranky sergeant.
Your alien?
Yep.
Ah.
He's old and he's cranky. That's when we first meet him. He's traipsing down the hallway slowly, and Cochrane says, "You okay, Sergeant?" And he goes, "Just old bones." And she's like, "Don't die. I need you. You're too valuable." No, sir. I'm good. You know, but he's got like a coffee on his back that he's carrying because he's taking the coffee to Mayrel up in the pilot house because he doesn't drink coffee. That stuff's nasty.
If I actually could grasp coding, Brent, I would definitely do that. But me and coding have never been friends. I've tried. We don't see eye to eye.
All right. For coolness, they just have a secret compartment. They do. It's called their mouth. I don't think. They're saying to Brent, "Did you know that humans eat more bananas than monkeys?" Which is true because I don't remember the last time I ate a monkey.
Me neither. But I eat a banana almost every day.
I love these things. I think I'm part monkey.
Potentially.
It's like in my DNA or something. I don't know. We're
Going down the evolutionary hole. Let's go.
Yep. All right. Did we ever come up with this guy's name? Not sure we ever did. So let's go to I'm going to go to my randomizers. I don't know why my randomizers aren't first on all of this stuff, but that's all right. Oud Nightwill. Midnight Palm Wish.
Oh, you're reading off names. I'm like, who just showed up?
Yeah, I love my random generators. They crack me up. But the names crack me up a lot. Tumble Sprout. I'm not saying, man, but Tumble Sprout was awesome. All that Latin,
general.
leaving QuACk with nothing but useless gold.
General Tumble Sprout.
Pecan Poplar Flower.
What?
Oh man, Flare Green Glimmer. I'm not saying that that's not an awesome name, but that's an awesome name. Not to be confused with Avon Windy Whistle. So this is the random fairy name on the random generator, and that's what these all are.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Okay.
I love this page, but yeah, I don't know. I can't tell whether Shakrana should have, Urxel Sklackleblap as their names or something, like just completely bizarre, or whether I should give them a name that translates, which I think actually would be funny, because Better Spec is a great name. Actually, Better Spec is the perfect name. Sergeant Better Spec. I think the funniest part about that is he's grumpy and crunchy, and he hates people, and they call him Better Spec. I think that's good.
And crunchy.
Well, just cranky, and he's cranky. You've had those days where you're like, I hate you people.
Yeah,
So
I have a lot of those days. Certain people specifically right now. But,
Better Spec. I like Better Spec. Sergeant Better Spec. Yeah, he's the old man who hates kids, but will also watch over them. That is exactly what this character is. That is precisely it. I'll actually make sure he's. There we go. So we will save as. First Sergeant Better Spec. I like the name Better Spec a lot more now. As time is going on, I'm just really digging this. There has to be a better way to do this. This, by the way, if you're wondering, is why I want to figure out how to make a figure in Daz. Because right now it's just a bunch of different pieces, and we redo things like this. We got to go through it. There, now he's sort of walking, which is good because that
that
actually
actually of him waving.
Probably what we need is. You're done with it. Alien Walter. It's for the retrospect. Sergeant Better Spec's other brother retrospect.
He's
Which in retrospect, he realized his name was
Which in
Becky. Okay, that was good, Donald. That was good. I'm all into this now. All right. Save as a scene subset. Because we're going to go on ahead and just
retrospect it.
06, 01, Sergeant Better Spec. I like Sergeant Better Spec. The more I talk about it, the more I think it's funny. It's definitely, though, it's a maquette because we're missing his eye stalks. because there's going to have to be a better version of this at some point. It will work for the first issue of the comic because we only really see him for a few things, but I can manually pose him for those few scenes, and we'll just call it good. All right. Next, Troubled Child.
The Troubled Child. Child is that?
So I learned with this earlier today how to use metaballs, and I am all about
Dude,
it.
what?
Do you know what metaballs are?
Nope.
So metaballs are a thing you can add like this. So here's like a metaball, right? And if I take another metaball and add it, I can take this metaball and do this.
Huh.
Right?
Interesting.
Blorp, blorp,
So they
glorp,
actually connect?
blorp,
Does that
blorp.
mess with the mesh at all or no?
It's totally deforming the mesh.
I mean, like, you don't have technically like two. Oh, it doesn't have two balls intertwined.
Look at
That's
it.
so
Look
weird.
at this. Watch the mesh. Isn't that kicking butt?
This is in Daz?
No, this is in Blender.
What?
You want to see something cooler? We can add all kinds of stuff in the metaball. Like we can add a cube and go
Does it merge both of them? Like all three of them if you touch all three
Yep.
together?
Here. Behold.
What?
Right?
What
Like,
the heck?
this is
That's
the way to
cool.
make it
So
totally...
they blended together. So they put together when you do this sculpting and 3D modeling. That's so crazy.
And I can't stop making bloppy noises.
You can make a Geodude right now if you wanted to.
Do what?
You can make a Geodude
Yeah.
from Pokemon.
But I mean, like, and it's so cool to watch
Thanks,
it
Brent.
in mesh mode here.
That's crazy. That's cool.
So yeah, I learned metaballs today. Needless to say, this is a better way to do biological creatures
Yeah.
because it's much more organic looking and
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about all the extra vertices.
I mean, that Chakrana mesh is insane. It's ridiculous looking, but it works, and it'll work for this issue. But I'm going to rebuild the Chakrana and metaballs because it's a much simpler mesh. It's much easier. It doesn't have as much obnoxiousness all over the place. Looks great.
Wow, Brett, that's a big prize.
Donald, what's
yes, I am gonna.
And R2D2 is in Star
I
Trek.
am gonna save this tab here so I can look at this here. Oh my god.
What?
Oh, Brent just sent me that NASA thing he's talking about.
Oh.
And yeah. Okay. I will definitely have to look into that.
I don't.
But
Really
first off, I actually got to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
No. Okay.
And for that, I will do this for you. So people can
Armature lattice. A force field. I am missing a whole bunch of stuff that. I know that R2D2 is in Star Trek because he was part of the wreckage in Star Trek the movie, the 2009. Vader, I'm not sure of. R2D2 and C3PO are written on the walls of the Ark. And so I know that. In hieroglyphs. I really need to stop this. Okay, we are going to make. Let's get rid of all of this. Okay, we're going to make. Here we go. We're going to do this. All right, our first victim here is going to be this. Victim. It's so much easier to make this. I take a meta ball, put a meta ball in the center. I'm going to go. And now we have the start of what will ultimately become
2d2s.
the. Like I said, I can't believe how easy Metaballs makes making a biological looking thing.
Right. It definitely gives you that more organic look.
Yeah.
Also did a quick wardrobe change because I realized I was still in work uniform. That's why I'm not comfortable.
Like, why do I hate the world? Oh, I know why.
No, I got asked to help out, like, very quick to help out a little bit at work for a little bit longer. And I was like, all right, you can get a little bit out of me. And then one guy decided to try and sabotage me from working. And I was like, cool, you do the job. And then I left. I was like, cool, if you guys don't want me to do it, you can do it. And I just took off then. And I was like, I told my boss, like, this is what's going on. I'm out. I'm not playing this game.
Yeah.
He wasn't very happy, but.
With you or with everybody?
Both. He was like, why are you leaving? I'm like, I told you I'd help you, but if you're not going to help me out, why should I help you? And I did, and I took off. Told him what happened, and then I told the guy that I was supposed to be helping. I was like, hey, this is what's going on. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, there's no way I can really help you now. He's like, yeah, it's true. So I'm like, all right, just finish what you can. Let him deal with the rest. He's like, all right. It's like, it's not our fault that someone else wants to destroy what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you making?
So the Jessine, which is the sort of jellyfish guys.
Oh, okay.
They can't live in our atmosphere. So they live in a little spacesuit.
Huh.
I'm getting a kick out of saying metaballs. So I'm making their spacesuit, and I'm going to make all of the biological, not the biological, but I'm going to make the first part of the spacesuit. And then I'm going to add boxes to it to make it more, like spacesuity.
Okay.
Spacesuitian.
Spacesuitian.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds cool.
The only thing I haven't figured out yet is once you make the metaballs, how do you stop them from being metaballs? Like,
when they're not meta.
That's not, yeah, it's when they're not meta. Because I'm trying to figure out.
Stop being meta.
I mean, like, because I want to perform a Boolean at some point in time.
What are you trying to cut out?
The helmet.
Oh.
So cut through the helmet here so that I can put it different, so that there's a cliff inside there a little bit, Just new feature for the mods you want to try in the Twitch chat. Oh, okay. You do you, boo.
What new mod is he trying?
I don't know.
Oh. Oh. What is it? What's he trying to do?
You can't see it on the stream. That bites. I don't know.
Brent,
You must be out on one
what
of
are you
our
doing?
streams. I was going to say, Brent must be doing something.
Now my curiosity is going to get me.
So you know that there's got to be like a version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that involves Shakrana. That's got to be happening somewhere.
Probably.
It's got to be happening.
Oh, an announcement feature.
What'd you announce?
Let's find out. Yeah, it's just weird. It doesn't show up in the stream chats, but I'm curious what the announcement.
Yeah, you'll have to go over.
We're not getting the announcement features in the chat restream, but
no. Can you see it on my Twitch?
I don't see it. I just jumped in, but I didn't get any announcements.
We can bone it.
Do the announcement. There we go.
There's so many awesome words and phrases that you can say in 3D. Like we're playing with the balls, but soon we're gonna bone it.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see what you're talking about. I know what he's doing now. Okay. So it's like little announcements that pop in and out for like if you like, let's say you have a convention coming up or whatnot, and you want people to know about it. You can have it set up in your Twitch as an announcement saying, "Hey, if you're in Colorado this weekend, I will be here," and it just randomly pops in like every 30 minutes or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
A timer.
Oh yeah.
But also you can have announcements too for like when people just like subscribe to you, follow you, all that stuff too. I haven't gotten that far into it. I really should.
Starfest this weekend.
Yeah. Stuff like that. But you also get a lot of that stuff too through your dashboard too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh. One of my friends followed me last night after we got off. I have 3 new followers from this week. Well, a little after a week, because Brent followed me last week.
Right.
So I have 2 this week.
Nice. The only real way I've found to do this, sadly,
yeah, I gotta get it. I gotta learn more about that. I just haven't had time to really get into all that stuff yet. Like I went down that rabbit hole very quick there, Brent, but I never actually fully jumped in yet. I was doing it for a while there because I was really just debating on streaming art just to keep myself motivated or have someone to hang out with, and then because I always work at night, and then guys like, "Oh, we're moving our stream to nighttime." I was like, "Perfect,
perfect. Join me."
That cuts half of my workload down.
Right. Whereas it doubled mine.
Yeah, but in a good way for you. The only thing that I'm like kind of annoys me when I stream though is all the neighbors making noises and the cars and all that stuff in here. So we are looking at some here, then it goes like this.
Wow. All of a sudden the kids just coughing and hacking up a storm in his room. Hope he's okay. And dying a lot.
Yeah. Death comes for us all sooner or later.
Yeah. A little young for death to be coming for him, though.
True.
Just a little.
Light.
I feel like I spent hours sculpting that Chakrana shell, and I like this shell already better.
I love it when that happens. You're like, damn it.
Right?
Like, I was actually annoyed because I saw randomly there was a video this morning that I saw that I was really annoyed with, which I can still fix it here. It was a pastel artist showing they were drawing Scarlet Witch, Olsen,
Nice.
what's her name? Olsen, first name.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth, yeah. Elizabeth Olsen. They were drawing her, and I was watching them go, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Awesome. Like, one of my favorite characters. One of my favorite actresses from the MCU. She did such a good job. And then the way he did her eyebrows, I was like, that makes so much more sense how you just did eyebrows and why my eyebrows don't look fully what I want them to. And just how he did it, I was like, what? I need to do this, which I just realized I could actually still do that on this. So we're probably still going to do that. To actually make them look like eyebrows and not just squares or like the shape of the eyebrow, which is what they are right now. I'm going to definitely go in and change it. But like the way that he did it, like he did the form and everything of the actual eyebrow, of the eye socket. Like he did all the forms of the brim, and then he came in after that, like with but he changed the shade of it to the shade of what her hair, like close enough to what her eyebrow color is, but also like more of the skin tone at the same time. And then came in and started doing like all the details for like hair and everything in the eyebrow. And I was like, makes so much more sense than what I usually do. Damn it.
Yeah.
At the same time, awesome. Because it also proves something at the same time when I tell people this all the time is like, you can learn, if you're a digital artist, you can learn from other art. If you're a comic book artist, you can learn from painters. You can learn from this, like other mediums. You will learn something from them that will make your life easier.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I used to tell that to people all the time. I was like, no, inspiration's everywhere, and you will learn stuff from these people. You can't just like 100% zone in on one thing.
Right.
It is the 13th tomorrow. You are right. And it is Friday.
It is.
Oh, that's a terrible thought. I hope nothing goes wrong.
My mom was born on Friday the 13th, so our family always treated it like it was a holiday.
That's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks like you're making a fidget spinner.
It does. Well, sort of in a way, that's kind of what
it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3-lobe, fidget spinner.
Mm-hmm. Did your kid ever get into those or no?
Not really.
I wasn't sure. I was like, that was kind of his generation.
It was his generation, and I mean, he has a lot of things. He prefers to fidget with things you don't want him to fidget with. That seems to be.
I had so many things just run through my head right now.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of myself.
Yeah, but sadly, none of them are in any way like entertaining in any way that it's always the table or and stuff. You're like, stop doing that. You're gonna ruin the table.
That's fair. Nothing that really is something you should be fidgeting with.
You're right. Like, don't do that. You're just gonna break stuff.
Happy you're keeping yourself occupied, but not with that.
Yep.
Just trying to get these folds. And then we'll come in. Nope, that was not what I wanted.
Wow, this looks so wicked. Doing it this way. It's like just oozing.
That is a cool tool. I didn't know that was a thing. But
Right?
also,
It's just so cool to do it this way, though. It's like everything's just oozing across stuff, and it just it's so organic. See you all later there. Good night, my friend.
hey, Donald.
We still get Donald, but Brent went to bed.
Oh, Brent went.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. The first person I saw said something. I was.
I know we have to remember everybody's handle.
Yep. Never mind. Bye, Brent. Thanks for the update, though. That was really cool. He sent me a link to a thing for NASA because they're looking for like VR 3D modelers
Mm-hmm.
type stuff, and I was like, that's actually kind of up in my alley of what I really want to do.
Right?
I was like, I appreciate this information. Thank you, sir. Please, sir, may I have an yeah. Definitely keep that open so I can look at it later. Question, by the way, guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, no stream, yay stream.
I'm streaming in the morning. So, but not at night.
All right. If I
I'm
don't
gonna
stay
get
up till like 3 o'clock, I'll probably join you.
Mhm.
I did that last night. After you got off, I was like, all right, cool. We're going to keep playing around for a bit. I fleshed out more of her face and like started putting highlights in her hair and things like that. I was doing all this stuff in there, and I was like, cool. I'm at a good point. I'm happy where it's at. Watched like a TV show very quick, like an episode just to wind down, and then I passed out.
Fair.
Like 3, and then I woke up at 9 o'clock, like right when your stream started, and I was like, nah, I can't make it. I need breakfast. I need to get ready for work.
Totally
And I
fair.
jumped on, did a little bit, like, was working on other stuff for school, and then that was about it. And I had to run off to work.
Sounds good to me. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised no one else is.
That's-
Pepper took Brent's position of going to Florida. So
Right.
I'm blaming Brent on this one. Brent leaves and Pepper's like, that's a good idea. I should go back to Florida.
I should go there. That sounds like a fine thing to do. I think Pepper would agree that he'd rather not have been doing that.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Okay. It is what it is. Sometimes you gotta.
I mean, like, this is faster than we were doing before. I wasn't here for. So, one of the other things I discovered was you can do symmetry,
Mm-hmm.
which is so cool. So, I did 3-point symmetry.
Nice.
That was so weird. Like, you can do it symmetrically 3 points.
Uh-huh. All right, they're gone.
Yeah, no, humidity and I don't get along.
Humidity? Who's dying of humidity? Oh, yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna go check on the kid.
Make sure he's not dying. Just walk in, tell him, death is uncurable. I'm not saving you. Do not do this right now. Anybody else going to Starfest? Are you a Starfestian, Brent? Donald? That's fair. Mine's just trying to get out of work. If I get out of work on time, I'm going to try and go down for at least a day. See how that goes.
I found George.
Hey.
George the floofy cat.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
That was me this week too, Donald. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
My school tuition took all my money this last paycheck, so which is fine. I mean, it actually pushed me to start riding my motorcycle more because it's only $10 in gas.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I guess this is not a bad thing. I just haven't been taking it because I'm like, do I really want to deal with this at night? Do I want to do this? Like, if they hold me out until after the sun goes down, you know.
Mm-hmm. I gotta admit, it's the benefit of the electric car. Wow. I never. Well, we got that
Is
electric.
your car full electric?
Yeah, the Leaf is. Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought it was
One.
half.
We've got one gas car and one electric car.
Okay. I just thought it was like a half.
The hybrid
half scenario. Yeah,
You know,
hybrid.
those hybrids are actually like scary dangerous.
Why is that?
Okay. So first of all, I'm not a fan of the hybrids. I think people should just either get over it and get an electric or stay with a gas car.
Right.
One of the two. But don't sit there and go, well,
I just know like hybrids, but it's like anything under like 40, it's running off the battery, and then once you hit over like 60 or like 50 or whatnot, that's when it's like, oh yeah, now we're just full gas.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's not a fast car, so it doesn't have a big enough electric motor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a fast car because it doesn't have a big enough gas motor. So it's just like it doesn't do either of those very well. It's like it's the worst of both worlds. Whereas my Leaf is like the fastest car I've driven in a long ass time.
Nice.
I mean, I've never driven anything as fast as that Leaf. There's a couple of good reasons for it. One, the Leaf has no transmission.
What?
Yeah, it's just so you hit the gas and you let off the gas when you're at like 100 miles an hour. It never shifts.
Have you gotten it to 100?
I can answer that when my wife goes to sleep.
Good answer, sir. That was like me and my coworker today. We were talking about my motorcycles when I got in because he rides as well. And a girl came up and said something. He's like, no. Like we were talking about how fast his bike can go and whatnot. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I can hit totally 90. And she walked up. He's like, but I really only ride. I read the speed limit. I only ride like 60, maybe 70. Mm-hmm. And I was like, uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the thing about that electric, the thing that's getting me is, I think, well, here's my thought. Electric cars are going to be the wave of the future. There's
Oh, of
nothing we can
course.
do about it. It doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch of chatter about it being, oh, it's something that liberals are making or whatever. That's completely irrelevant.
That's a
The
cool one.
truth of the matter is, it has fewer parts. Nothing explodes inside there.
Uh-huh.
It goes faster. It's lighter. It takes less fuel. It uses the same fuel as everything else in our society, e.g., electricity.
Right.
It's just a better vehicle.
So,
It's only a matter of time, and all cars will be electric.
yeah.
Um,
So, Donald, with that truck, are you saying it's like, so if your power goes out in your house, it becomes like
mhm,
a generator?
yeah, it's got plugs in the front, like normal plugs.
That's cool.
So yeah, the Ford electric Ford F-150 is it's got so many batteries in it that it can power your house. And so they just went on ahead and just added outlets to it so that
That's
you could just
actually
plug into
really
its
cool.
battery packs. Because, and this is another smart move on their part, you'll take that Ford truck out to your work site, and then
Hmm.
you'll plug in your work lamps to it
Yep.
and run your work lamps in your work site. And um, that's the battle plan. The thing is, so the, because there's no exploding parts inside an electric motor, we have
Yeah.
to replace the brushes on our motor at 1,000,000 miles. It will go
A
1 million
million miles?
miles, 1 million miles before it needs the first service on that engine,
What?
because there's no exploding parts inside there.
Right.
And an electric motor is a relatively simple thing, right? We built them in science class. It's two magnets and a coiled wire. You
Uh-huh.
charge the coiled wire, and the polarity switches back and forth on the coils, and the magnets pull the battery, or pull the coil around in a spin.
I wish I grew up in the 80s.
Do
You
what?
guys had cooler
Oh yeah, well,
science
I mean, but that's what
classes.
we did in science class, right? You built an electric motor in science class, yes?
No.
No, dude. Next time we're together, we'll build electric motors. It's fun.
Okay.
Um, but
I'm
it's
just saying, like, we never actually got a. I don't remember really building anything in science classes.
man, you guys missed out. Electric
I
motors are the
know.
best.
Well, it was also like, so my generation when I went in is right when they got rid of like automotive classes and all that other like home ec and all that stuff out of everything. Like they never taught any of that anymore. Like, because I remember my middle school, there was the classrooms there still, but we were just never allowed to use them.
Oh man.
Like my middle school still had a home ec and a sewing room that when I started in middle school, like no one used that class. Like those classrooms just became vacant. And I think it was an elective thing. Like it wasn't like a mandatory thing or whatnot, but like it never could get enough people to really do anything in those classes
That's like painful.
because they
For a
never
person like
advertised
me
them
who's
either.
science
So like I
oriented,
didn't
that
even
just
realize that's
kills
what they
me.
were until I got there. I thought it was part of like the kitchen.
Man, that kills me. Just thinking about that kills me.
Right. So yeah, that was my generation. Like right when I got into middle school is when they got rid of all that stuff. It was all about sports, and that was it.
That's what the money is.
I mean it is, but at the same time, like actual life skills.
Oh yeah.
But the only thing that like my school did have that most schools never did is we actually had like a money management class
Oh, that's cool.
that they actually at was actually required
That's even cooler.
in my middle school, and I was like, that's weird. But it was actually learning how to manage money in a and the guy that ran it was our history teacher who actually owns like a whole bunch of apartments. Like he has a farm, he owns a golf course. Like he just does the teaching because he enjoys it,
Hmm.
and he makes all the subsidized income outside of it. So he was literally teaching us how to do stuff like that. But I also part of me was like, I don't know if teaching middle schoolers this is really the smarter way to go because none of us really, I don't think it's nothing that you're really thinking of as a middle schooler, but maybe a high schooler. Yeah.
No, high school's when you definitely need to do it.
Right, because that's when you really want to start looking at like, oh, how do I balance a checkbook? How do I invest my money properly?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to go to college. Like now
Mhm.
I'm thinking about this because now I'm like, oh, how am I going to make college work? How am I going to start spending money properly? Like that kind of stuff I think would have been better as a high schooler than a middle schooler. But it was still cool.
It was still cool.
Especially for a public school system. I never saw that coming in a public school system.
They needed to teach sex ed in middle school and money ed in high school.
I got sex ed in middle school and high school.
No.
They
No,
wanted to
we
make
got
sure that they're
the-
like, oh
we
no,
got
everybody
the
needs to be
this is a
safe all the
penis
time.
and this is a vagina part of sex ed. It needs to be more in depth than that.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we got.
Because it's like
they showed I remember in one of my my high school sex ed classes when they did the video of the woman giving birth,
oh yeah.
the crowning and everything and all that. I fell asleep in that class when they've turned on the video, and then when I woke up, the video literally just turned off, and the teacher's like, "Yep, that's everything." And I looked at my neighbor. I'm like, "What the heck just happened?" He was like, "You missed some disturbing stuff." I was like, "What?" He's like, "We just saw a baby get born." I was like, "That's awesome."
On the flip side, I did watch my baby get born.
That's awesome.
And I keep
If I had a
thinking about-
kid, I would too.
Yeah. I keep thinking about the way things changed over time.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather was at home and they called him from the hospital
Really?
when my mom was born because he wasn't actually allowed to be in the hospital.
That's
My dad was in the waiting room
uh-huh.
smoking cigarettes when I was born.
Back when, yep.
Yeah. And then I literally was there with a hand to catch my kid as he came out.
That's awesome.
I'm like, these are 3 different levels of what our society did and how it
If
changed.
I had a kid, I would do the same thing. Like if I knew about it, I would
Yep.
be there for it.
I still think that I still sometimes sling that on my wife. It's like I saw him first. Because I did. She was
Right. I saw him
pushing.
You were busy. You were a little preoccupied, but I saw him
preoccupied. So, I just hung out with the kid, It was very funny.
Technically, I was the first one he saw.
Right? I know.
You just carried him for 9 months.
She grumps about that, though. There's a little bit of fairness there. I don't do it too often because I like living.
That's fair. But it's still funny.
But it was still funny. It's still a funny joke. It's a funny joke in my book. But it is. I keep thinking about the way that the world has changed and how much the world's changed,
Oh yeah, totally.
Like,
I mean,
was
we are in the
acceptable at all.
difference. Like everybody we definitely I think we cherish those moments more now.
Mm-hmm.
And actually consider them actual good moments.
Right.
And not as like
Gross or whatever it
Yeah.
was thought of when we were. I don't know what people thought. I don't know. Right?
They showed a
Women's
birth on
work,
people. Like
I don't know what
the
they were.
whole thing, Donald. Like baby coming out and all.
Yeah, they'll show that on
Really?
PBS. They will. Yeah. And they'll probably say something like viewer discretion advised or something ridiculous. So
Makes sense. I mean, that one would make sense that they would say that because also like you do have like children like seeing that, and I don't know, like I know a lot of people that would not be comfortable with that, but it's also like it's the same concept of video games. Everybody's okay with their kid killing, like going on a mass war spree, killing all these people, seeing gory stuff, all that blah blah blah. But once it comes to sex,
that's
like,
just wrong.
that's where we draw the line. Like, there's a reason there's a rated M rating on here, ma'am. Oh no, it's fine. I was like, cool. There's a gay couple in it. Nope, they're not playing this game anymore. I'm like, really?
That's the hill you're gonna die on.
That's your breaking point?
that's.
I had a friend literally do that to a mom once. The kid was like trying to tell her, like, oh yeah, I want this. And it was like some kind of war. It was like some kind of FPS game. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was like when I played it, I was like, this is kind of extreme. It was, I think it was one of the Call of Duties. Like the opening scene to the storyline was you being a terrorist and just mowing down people in an airport. That was the opening scene.
Right.
I played that and I was like, there is no reason. Like, and I was in high school, and at the same time, I was like, I don't feel comfortable playing this game right now. Like, I'm surprised you guys went this route.
Right.
And that was the game this kid was trying to buy and get his mom to buy it. And that's what the guy was saying. And my friend was like, man, you do realize what you're buying right now, right? It's like, yeah, no, it's fine. And he was like, these things happen in this game. She's like, yep, no, that's cool. And then he just randomly was like, there's a gay scene in it. And she's like, nope, never buying this game again.
Nice.
That kid was so mad at that guy. It was hilarious.
Yeah, but we saved him a lot of heartache.
Yeah. But it was at that point, and when he was just like, I don't care anymore, and I'm tired of selling things to people. I'm like, this kid's 8 years old. He should not be playing this.
And that was what was so funny. I
Really? Fortnite?
Fortnite
You have to
too.
drug
Wow.
yourself to get into certain places, and like, I did not know that was a thing. Wait, Fortnite has a story?
Oh, wait.
I thought it was just like a builder FPS fighting arena.
Thing.
I didn't know there was an actual story to Fortnite. I've never played it though, so I've watched people play it. I'm like, I can see why there's an appeal to it.
Sure. Well, there's appeal to everything.
But it's definitely not my appeal, but I definitely can see why people like it. But that's also
Sure.
like me, like I'm open-minded. So I like to like see what other people are into. I'm like, why are you into this? And I watch it, I'm like, I understand now. Like everybody talking about like Elden Ring and whatnot. Like Brian was all obsessed about Elden Ring and whatnot. I was like, no, it's awesome. I'm glad you enjoy it. Wrong game name. You shoot animals and thugs. That sounds familiar. I don't think it's Fortnite.
I don't know. I play The Sims.
That is a. How could you know?
I know. I mean, that's what
you know. Actually, I want to play The Sims again. I haven't played
The Sims is awesome.
Like
man.
Sims 2. And what,
Sims,
they're like on Sims 5 now?
They're Sims 4. 3 had some good stuff, but I don't know.
Three's when they just started adding a whole bunch of random things, and I was just like, "What's going?" Like it was a whole bunch of DLCs type stuff.
Well, yeah, there's all kinds of DLCs,
and that's when it like threw me off. When I was like, "This is not what I remember."
Yeah, I mean,
like it was cool. Like I thought it was awesome. Like I was like, "All right, you guys do your thing," but like for me, I was like, "Okay, this is weird." And then I've seen people actually do more and more in The Sims. I'm like, "Okay, it does kind of look like fun." Again, I kind of want to try it again, but I just never.
Sure. I mean, it's The Sims is The Sims. It is what it is. But
maybe I tried it on a PlayStation and it felt weird with the controller.
Oh, I don't know how people play things. Well, I get that's where I get cranky and old. Right? It's like, how do you people do these things on consoles? You know, you've got like 6
I get
buttons.
it when a computer was like an actual affordable computer for gaming was way more than a console, but now they're about the same for an affordable computer.
Right.
Oh, Ark would make sense. Ark is the dinosaur game. Yeah, exploration game. I don't know if you get to drug yourself in that game. I never played it. I've watched people play it, but I don't remember ever seeing the drug thing.
I don't know if I'm up for convention tomorrow. I'm still not quite
it's
convention mode. You know what I mean? I just don't.
Ugh. Are you tabling? Oh, no.
No. We're geek tanking. We're working the con, which is even harder. I'm not.
No. That's way harder when you have to literally go like walk around the whole time, get interviews, do interviews, whole bunch of stuff.
I mean, it could be
literally
fun.
This year's gonna be
there and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I think this year's gonna be harder on you guys because it's a lot of people like having that conversation of like, what was your biggest memories?
Right.
And it's just gonna be that's gonna be a hard show for you.
It's not gonna be an easy show. You're right.
I still think it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
But I don't think it's gonna be an easy show. That's for sure.
Easy. It is gonna be fun though.
I might show up Saturday after work.
There you go.
Go hang out for a bit and then come home and do homework. Oh yeah. As long as you're there after like 5-6 o'clock. How long's the show go till?
Oh, it's a con.
I know
dude.
it's an all-nighter thing on Saturday, but don't remember if there's like when the show floor closes and then it just becomes people hanging out.
It depends
I
on
know
what
they have the
it is.
dance
I mean,
and all
like
that
some of the
stuff.
rooms stay open forever.
Oh yeah, I mean, the
The
Klingon
video
party
rooms
goes
stay
like
open
24/7.
forever and stuff like that.
Badge costs a lot. How much is the badge this year?
The badge does cost a lot. Well, I mean, it costs as much as it usually does for a con, like $50 or something like that for the weekend.
If it is, I mean, 50 is not bad, but like if it's over that, no.
It's 50 for NDK. I don't know.
I know NDK's prices. I'm just saying, like, I know there was a year that Starfest like charged an outrageous number. And we're like, you want what?
Your what hurts?
And that's when they actually like up security at all the doors, and I was like, you're serious? Wow. So me and my friends just literally camped out front on the like out front, and I was like, you can't tell us to actually leave the actual grounds. Sorry. Hotel stuff can, but you can't.
Yeah, I'm digging this meta ball thing much more than I feel like the other. He looks less like a crab. Not much less like a crab, but less like a crab.
When I click buy tickets, it sends me somewhere else. I just want to see what the prices are. Show me prices. Ticket options. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. $45 to $50, not bad. Oh, advance is 45, so yeah, it's 50 at the door. That's not bad. For a one day. I never understood why people would charge full price on a Sunday.
It depends on what Sunday. Well, on this Sunday, it makes sense.
This one, yes. But I mean, like most shows, the show's dead by like noon. Especially when you're at a hotel because like there's nothing left to do in the hotel. You guys are a little different now with being at the Gaylord.
Yeah.
Really? Some guy attacked Riker. Wait.
Riker.
This kind of sounds familiar. I think I've heard this story.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Oh, crap. Okay. Never mind.
Control Z.
Warp.
Yeah. No, yeah, this year will be different. But I definitely know, like, prior years, like, Sunday by noon, maybe 2 o'clock, it's a ghost town.
45
like
plus
you're
45 is,
all the people you see left are like the people that are lingering. Like, I don't want this convention to end today.
Yeah, but they're going to have Brent Spiner and
Our Brent?
Oh God, I'm never going to do this.
Brent Spiner.
Data.
Oh,
he's going to be at closing ceremonies.
Okay, so a lot of people are going to be there for that.
And he's only there on Sunday.
Oh, so yeah, a lot of people will be there for that. And Dax. Oh.
So, well, yeah, but Jadzia is not there.
That would make sense why they had extra security.
Yeah,
I just remembered like they literally were like watching. That might have been that year then, if that's why. Because
that was the year.
Like hawks.
Okay, I got to rotate this guy.
Like all I wanted to do was sit at the bar. All I was like, can I just go buy food at the restaurant? No? Cool.
Come on.
If I remember right, it was the year before I started tabling. That's what it was. Maybe? I don't remember. But then there was a weird year too. Like Comic Fest used to be at a different hotel, like across the street. And there was one year that the Comic Fest badge did not work to go into Starfest.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I was tabling at Comic Fest, I'm like, so to even consider like being part of this convention, I have to buy your badge and my own, like for both shows. That doesn't sound right. It was a really weird one. I'm like, you guys have these weird rules that keep popping up, and I don't understand these.
Yeah,
things.
it's getting to the point where it's like, Well, doesn't really matter anymore.
Well, and then Comic Fest actually finally took over
100%.
one of the other corners in the actual hotel, so which made that easier because then they couldn't do that on us. We actually were part of the show. Which never made sense why we were not considered part of the show when we were always part of the show. The heck, it is what it is.
You have to make the noise. The meta balls are cracking me up.
Your meta balls.
I'm getting such a kick out of these things.
So since tomorrow is Starfest, you will definitely not be on.
Yeah, but usually I go over to my buddy's house.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. I totally forgot that Starfest was happening, and that's why I was like, "Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have asked that question because it's already answered."
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm still on for the day.
Right. Which I will let you know. I mean, you'll know if I jump on and like try and pipe in.
There we go. Look at that. I mean, like that's actually what I
Hi,
envisioned the
let me in.
Shakrana shell to look like.
Oh, Dragon Con's awesome. Yeah, no, I went to Dragon Con. It was a lot of fun, but it was also 5 days, and I don't remember most of it, which
'Cause
I
you
also
were
was really
drunk.
disappointed with because it was literally all I did was drink for 5 days straight, and I felt like I did nothing. I was like, feels kind of like a waste. I'm not gonna lie. I felt really like I wasted my whole time at that show. Because every time I went to go do something, like either the line was around the building outside in Atlanta during the summer.
Right. And who wants to do that?
Like I actually had to go like wait in like I wanted to go to Artist Alley because I had some friends that were actually got a table, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to go see you guys." And I was trying to find like I asked all my friends that came with me. I was like, "Does anybody know where the Artist Alley is?" Like, "Oh yeah, I think it's on this street corner and this street corner." I was like, "Okay, I will figure that out. I've never been in Atlanta before. You all have, but cool, thank you. I'll go figure it out." Because no one wanted to like show me where it was. So we did that. I never actually made it in because I couldn't find the building. Then I found the building and the line was literally wrapped around like the whole street corner. Like take a skyscraper that we have in downtown. It was literally a whole bunch of like the line literally circled the whole building. I was like, I'm not waiting in that, not in this heat.
Mm-mm.
So I was like, I'll figure it out tomorrow, and then I'll come back and do all that. And then my friends all went to the show all went to the Artist Alley while I was asleep that morning. And I was like,
they were your ex-friends after that, yes?
one is yes. The other
One
one still
is
a good friend, but it was because he got conned into going. He explained it to me later on what happened. I was like, oh, okay. It was pretty much the whole they went to breakfast, which is usually what happens. Like whoever's awake, we'll go to breakfast together, and whoever's sleeping, we just let them sleep. But like they went to breakfast, and then one was like, "Oh yeah, let's go to Artist Alley while we're at it." And then they both like went there right after breakfast, and then they came back up to the room right when I'm waking up, and they had a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, "Are you guys fucking kidding me?" Like I had words with them after I woke up. I was so mad. I was like, "You all went to the show the one thing that I wanted to do.
All I wanted to do." Yeah. Gotta make them.
It's a drinking. That's the other thing. Like DragCon, it's a drinking con. It's a lot of drinking and a lot of partying. But there is some cool events in there that I didn't see, but I saw like some of the things that were on them. And then I have friends that actually did go. They're like, "Oh yeah, this was actually kind of cool." I was like, "There's more to this than what everybody keeps telling me about," because I went with my friends that are partiers. I was like, "Oh, got it. Not coming with you guys next time."
Right.
If I go next time.
No, I'm not getting over the noise. I can make the noise all I want now.
You make your squishy noise.
Dang it. Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's not the noise. True. We could probably do that.
See? Just carry Donald around. He's our buddy. You know, it kind of looks like a ravioli right now. Kind of want a ravioli.
Just one.
It looks cool though. And it's trisymmetrical.
Cool. I keep thinking like a stingray.
Like what?
When you go up top view,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of has like a stingray look to it.
Oh yeah. This looks like a stingray.
That's what I keep seeing.
It just
Actually, no, it was after they did that to me though. Like I went and hung out with different friends that were there, and I had a lot more fun the whole time after I went to hang out.
That makes sense.
I was like, all right, cool, bye. And they're like, Colton, you're never around anymore. It was like day 3. I was like, yep, peace.
Dates. Yep.
And then my other friends were there, and I was like, hey guys, what's up? Let's talk. Let's hang out. And I went and hung out with them the whole time. I was like, yep, this is how this is working now. I was like, you guys were assholes.
It's like it doesn't. What is it?
I did remember. That's why I was like, I know I started having fun at a certain point. I was like, that's when it was. Yeah. All right. Hands are done. Not done, but
Oh, there we go.
attempted.
That's what we wanted. Because it's getting way too small here, and I'm like, well, why are you shrinking? Oof. But that made.
Why are you shrinking? I don't know.
I'm not sure that changed my feeling on this, but it's now much more puffy. It made it puffier. I think I'm still okay with it. So we've gotten very, very slow all of a sudden, though.
Details.
Fair. It's like you are aware what we've done to the Medable universe, right?
Las Vegas. I ride buses for free when there are. That's awesome. Especially in Vegas. That's awesome you get that treatment in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. That is pretty cool.
Vegas is all right. I've been there once. I had more fun, though, off the strip.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we actually had a friend that was a local there, and when she came and hung out with us is when I actually started having fun because she took us to go do stuff that's not what tourists actually do. And I was like, this is cool. We should do this. We should have kind of done this way before.
Well, that's generally the truth for any place.
I know.
I found some of the coolest stuff in Japan that's like not the stuff that tourists ever do.
Right. Like, when we were in Japan, like, I had more fun just wandering.
Mhm.
But I had also a lot of fun, too, doing some of the touristy stuff that we did. Shrine check, like, scenes in the shrines, going to Inari Mountain.
I like a
My
naughty mountain
tongue
better.
try to roll the R.
Yeah. You were at a naughty mountain? What was the mountain doing? Just being naughty. Didn't we just
That was
see
a cool
that?
one. Like that was cool. We also like so when we were I think I told you this one with the cats at the shrine mountain.
The cat
at
shrine?
Inari Mountain.
Well, there are lots of cats at shrines.
So well so we were like we saw cats throughout the day, like little random ones. My friends were like, oh, these are so cute, blah blah. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Like I'm like, yep, they're cats. Whatever, like 1 or 2 here, maybe 3, I think, throughout the day. And then when we finally were coming down the mountain is when all the cats came out of nowhere. Like they were everywhere. And I was like, okay, this is a sign. We gotta go. Like I was getting all spooked. I was like, something's trying to steal our soul or whatnot. Like, we gotta go, guys. Let's go. I've seen plenty of animes. I know what's happening next. Like, yeah, as soon as the sun went down and it got dark, like we were just walking down the pathway to get off the mountain, whatnot, walking through the little orange things, whatever. Just getting our way back down, like slowly. We're not like trying to rush down because it's all cobblestone steps and whatnot. So we're like, yeah, we'll just wander. We're kind of like cruising, meandering down. Then like 30 cats came out of nowhere and started following us and like hurting us. And I was like, okay, we gotta go. My friend's like, no, it's fine. She just started laying on the ground. She's like, no, come to me, kitties. Like, we will be friends. I'm like, no, we gotta go now. I am not leaving you behind. I'm sorry. I know you want to die by cats, but no, we're not doing this
right. Death by cats.
I'm not going to the spirit world to try and save you. Denver Stock Show's all right. I've been to it once or twice. It just reminds me a lot of my family, though. Like, and that's kind of where I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Wow.
Especially because, like, my dad did the whole bareback riding when I was younger, doing the horses and all that stuff.
I was gonna say, I don't know, man. Riding bears sounds horrible.
If it was actual bears, yeah,
it'd be cool.
But yeah, like bull riding, horse riding, like that stuff. Like that was my childhood with my dad. So like, I'm not a big fan of that world, anyways. So.
Look at what the Metaballs did with the grove.
That is so wow.
Isn't that wild?
That looks cool that way.
It does. It looks awesome. But it's the wildest grid work I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's so weird.
It's like high poly.
It's super high poly. It'll be fine for what I'm using it for, but man.
It's that's why I also need to upgrade my computer because I'm going into 3D modeling next semester.
Look at this. It's like geographical.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like terrain mapping.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I was like, it does. It's cool.
That's so wicked. Okay, I'm okay with this. And now this one has eye stalks, like it's supposed to. How do you know whether a chakran is looking at you or not if it doesn't have eye stalks?
That's how I was at the stock show area. Was when DreamHack came.
Show.
Well, it was actually DreamHack. The gaming convention that like picks a random city every year.
Mm-hmm.
They came in and they used the stock show as the actual place, and that was interesting. It was cool, but it was interesting. Like they had a drone racing area, like through where the actual stock show, like the seats are, where you can like fly. They had like little targets that they flew through as a race.
That's kind of kick-ass.
It was, and then the big like area where they do all like the barrel racing and all that stuff. They had like big, huge tournaments like set up and whatnot, like QuaCk tournaments. I was like, whoa, QuaCk's still a thing. I thought QuaCk died, but it was cool. It was really fun. I had a good time. The part I thought was funny is because they have crash areas where you can go, like you can pay for a spot to sleep. Like most convention center, not most conventions, but like when they have DreamHack, they have people go in there, they get their own like little space where they can set up their computers, LAN party and whatnot, and they can crash there. So they were using the horse stall, all the animal stalls that are down in the basement for where everybody was, and people were like pitching tents and everything in them. I was like, this is weird.
This guy's strange.
Because I got in, like I bought a ticket, but one of my friends was kind of on staff. They were doing like the the cosplay contests.
Mm-hmm.
So like, the guy that was helped running it, he was like, "Hey, cool, let's go outside." I'm like, "All right, cool, like get out for a bit." So I was like, "All right, yeah, let's go wander." So while they were doing other setup stuff, so I was wandering with him, and we went through one door that he was like, "I think it's this way." We went this way, and we ended up in the basement where all the stalls were for like all the animals, and I was like, "What the fuck? What are we doing here?" And then I started seeing people like randomly sleeping in here. I was like, "This is weird and kind of creepy. I'm getting scared. This is awkward."
Right. Awkward.
And then I realized after we actually walked through another door, he's like, "Nah, nope, not here." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't think we're in the right area." And so we walked the other door. It was the LAN party section where everybody bought their own computers. Like, "Oh, I know what that place was. I understand." But it was really cool to see all these people bringing in their own gaming towers and whatnot just to go LAN party with everybody. Like, oh, I miss those days. Now it looks like a train map.
Right. I was like, how far down do we have to go before it actually like some of these, and these guys didn't get selected, like you didn't get selected at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm noticing a lot of like, that is so weird. I wonder if there's a simplify.
There might be. Just hit triangulate and it triangulates everything again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I want to triangulate. I think that would just, because I see a smooth, but it's like almost like the opposite. I don't want a smooth.
Smoothing will either usually adds vectors.
Yeah, I was going to say that's just going to add vertices.
Because it just makes everything round.
I mean, I could decimate.
I don't know what decimate is.
What would happen if I decimated it? Mode to collapse. Your options are 1 or 0.
1 or 0.
I mean, because like I'm not seeing anything here.
Not seeing anything happening. You could probably type in a number.
Triangulate? No. I mean, I'm just not seeing anything. It must think that this is all you need, which is fine. I mean, this is not bad, but it's just a massive mesh.
It's a massive mesh, and trying to lay it out for UV layers is going to be weird. It might be weird.
Blender, simplify mesh. Simplify. Add modifier.
That's creepy.
What?
I got rid of my flats.
Oh, gotcha. Individual meshes.
Look at this face.
Select on modify. Modify.
Isn't that creepy, guy?
What do you do? I'm not watching. Yeah. Everything.
When I got rid of flats, this is what happened. I was like, oh, hi.
Oh, boy.
Hello, Christian.
What if I don't have simplify mesh as an option in the modifier? Modify. I mean, I really just don't. I don't have simplify mesh. The decimate tool. Oh, lower than 100. That's what it is. Or lower than 1.0. So 0.5.
Wait, it's going to be better.
It didn't change anything, though. Did it? Is this one of those you have to apply? Oh. Duh. Gotcha.
Did you figure it out?
You have to be not in edit mode. There we go.
Oh, is that why nothing was happening?
Yeah, if you're in edit, it won't simplify the mesh. There we go.
Actually,
That's a
kinda makes
much simpler mesh. It still has the same count too. I mean, really.
Oh, really?
I mean, it doesn't look any different, really, does it?
What's the orange look? What's the wireframe look like? Oh, it looks way simpler.
Yeah, I mean, totally, it's 0.019. So,
But
I mean,
as with the 3D site, yeah, no, it looks good. It looks a
right
lot better.
there we go, 0.01. It's a much easier mesh to deal with. The eye stalks are kind of bizarre, but we can work on the eye stalks. We're going to work on them anyway. We need to kind of dink with those anyway. I think I'm going to put bones in them so that they can be maneuverable in, because they should be tentacly,
Hmm.
so they should move like a, because that's going to be part of the humor is that they flip around the other direction. He's walking away, and and of course Chang's like, "You okay?" And his eye stalks flip around the other direction and look at her. Oh yeah, I'm doing fine. It's part of the humor. All of the aliens in here like doing the things that you can't, actually like do. Humans can't flip their eyes backwards. The doctor is an azure, which is like a big amoeba. And
Hmm.
so, when he goes, "How many fingers am I holding up?" He holds up 12 fingers because he just adds fingers to his hands. And he just keeps adding fingers. He's growing more fingers. You have to count the fingers to show whether you're okay.
You're just like, I don't know how many anymore. Like, I feel like I'm going
Stop
crazy.
adding fingers. Yeah. Yeah, because see, this is simplified and it should be fine. I feel like this is not too complicated of a mesh and it'll be fine. Okay, so decimate was the word we're looking for. Zero point 0.1. See, 0.1 still shows it. This is still 10% of the mesh that we had before, and it's actually still retaining a lot of its shape too. It's not bad. 0.05. Go down about half of that. Yeah, I still retain the shape at 0.05. All right, let's do that. Apply. Crunchy, crunchy. You're right. UV mapping with that original setup was like, no, that's not happening. Not easily.
I'm not that good to actually understand that yet, so nope.
UV mapping?
No, that much of a mesh for UV mapping.
So in Blender, the thing I'm probably going to do, here's the trick. Yeah, they're not, the odds of me actually talking to Brent Spiner are really, really low. And even if we do manage to get an interview with Brent Spiner, which I really highly doubt, Troy has to do the interview. I'm not allowed to.
Oh.
Brent Spiner is notorious for messing with reporters who don't have their act together, and especially reporters that are starstruck. And so Troy will do the interview with him because it's likely he will have zero tolerance if I flub a word or a question or anything like that. And then I'll just be crushed forever. So
Troy would be a better candidate.
yeah, Troy always takes the hit whenever they're that kind of people.
Uh-huh.
So he'll take the hit. So I'm not allowed to actually deal with Brent Spiner.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah, it's the Geek Tank rules. Usually I'm not allowed to. Usually the rule is I shouldn't be interviewing Star Trek actors, but Star Trek's really big right now,
Uh-huh.
right? Star Trek's really big, so every convention's getting a ton of Star Trek actors. So now we're having to do a breakdown. Like I'm allowed to interview Terry Farrell because she's a sweetheart and she's really nice. I'll be allowed to interview Michelle Hurd because she's also a sweetheart, you know. But yeah, Brent Spiner is. We didn't know that Walter Koenig was too. Otherwise, we wouldn't have allowed. That's what happened. So I went to interview Walter Koenig, Chekhov,
Okay.
and I sat down and I was like, are we okay? Yeah, it's cool. Do you need me to? What is there any specific question you want me to? No, it's all good. Just ask whatever you got to ask. Okay, cool, no problem. The camera starts rolling, and I say, "Hi, I'm Guy Davis with Geek Tank, and I'm here with Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov in Star Trek." And he went, 35 years, and all I have to show is some second-rate science fiction show that built with cardboard. You know what? I'm out of here. And he stands up and he starts to walk off. And I'm looking at the guy behind the camera. The guy behind the camera has got huge eyes. I've got huge eyes. And we're both like, did we just crash this interview? And he walks about 3 steps away, turns around with this big, huge grin on his face. And he was just trolling me. And I was like about to cry. And I'm like, yeah, no, don't do that. Like, that's just mean. And Troy's like, yeah, it should have been me. That one should have been me. Yeah. Oh, but then I interviewed Rene Auberjonois, who played Odo. And before the cameras rolled, I sat down with him and I said, how do I pronounce your last name? Because it's French and I don't speak French very well. And he said, you know what? Nobody gets it right. It's totally fine. Do your best and it will be absolutely okay. There's no problem. And the camera started rolling. And I said, I'm here with Rene Auberjonois. And he went, oh, and he pointed at me like he got it. If you look at the opening credits of Geek Tank, I put that shot in there because I'm just that was so like heartwarming. On the flip side was Rene, and that was literally like his last set of interviews before he passed away.
Oh, wow.
And so I had the honor of being on the last interviews of Rene Auberjonois, and it was so cool. He was a good
That's
guy.
awesome.
Okay. So
speaking of last names and people getting them right, just tell him you thought you were
talking to Lore. The problem is I wear my heart in my sleeve, and so I mean, and it's even worse. I am such a hardcore Trekkie that when I'm with Star Trek actors, even my professionalism starts to crack. So I never QuACk. They always come up, they say these things and they do these things, and I'm never QuACk. I never do them quickly. I never say anything. It's one of the things that I really have been grateful for, the fact that I never watched anime in English. I've always watched it in Japanese because the guests we get at NDK, I don't know who they are. I don't know who these people are.
Oh yeah, because they're all American actors.
They're all English voice actors, American voice actors, and everybody in the convention's going gaga over them. And I'm like, okay, and you are
right.
And you play.
Well, it's like there's like some guests, like, because I used to like at some of the shows, especially at the Sheridan, like I got requests for commissions so they can get them signed by these guests.
Right.
And I was like, sure, yeah, let's do that. All right, cool. Yeah. And some of them was like, who is this? And I was like, wait, we have that person here? Like, okay, cool.
Terry Farrell.
Huh?
Hey, he's Donald saying he'd love to date Terry Farrell.
Oh, there you go. Like one of them was Bobo. I don't remember if it was the creator or whatnot, but like I was like, Bobo. I haven't heard that name in a while. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, this girl like love the show, and she was like, I just want to commission, like, there's nothing here for this guy to sign that's like directly linked to
show.
him. And I was like, or that creation. I was like, okay, yeah, I can draw you something. I was like, I saw the show, so that does help out a little bit for me to actually understand what's going on for like a piece, you know.
Right.
And that's where like that was the last one I remember I did. There was a few other ones, but
Man, time sure is fun when you're having flies. It's like 11:47,
oh shit, it's almost 12.
right?
I'm having a good time already. So
I like this better. Okay, I'm going to do this one. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Ready to do this? We're ready to do this.
I'm ready. Give it to me.
Edit mode. I'm not sure what it did, but okay.
So I know there are tools out there that actually make UV mapping a lot easier.
Well, the trick here is to project or to select everything and then. So here's what I've been doing every time. I take and I put it in non-naked mode. So when it's in naked mode, it selects everything. When you have it in, well, I guess whatever this is shading mode. So it's got a skin. It only selects what you can see, right? So I select the top half and I pull it over that side over here. And then, yeah, I'll save it. And then I select everything like this. And then with the control, I unselect the top half, right? And then I flip it and I say unwrap, project from view. So that's the bottom.
Oh, you're doing that kind of unwrapping. Okay.
Right? But that gets us everything in here. And the shell is kind of bizarre looking, but it works, right? And then the only thing that I don't have is the eye stalks. The eye stalks kind of got weird.
That's the one thing I was going to ask you. Was like, are you going to break the eye stalks? Like, cut those out?
I might break those guys off. I'm not sure. You going to join me tomorrow?
Me?
Yeah, you. You going to join me tomorrow?
I'm going to try.
Sweet.
That early in the morning, I am going to try.
It's all good. I have to be up because got to kick the kid out of the house. It's the nature of the beast. Yeah. So these guys, I don't know. Maybe I'll.
It also depends on how late I'm going to be up for this. So I'm just going to
project from view, and then I can kind of bring them over here. Maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah. No, especially since Starfest is happening. I'm going to try and get as much as I don't have to worry about it Sunday.
It is now saved, Donald. Thank you. There. So I took the eye stalks and I just kind of put them over to the side. I don't know what the heck we're going to do with those eye stalks. We'll have to figure something out. It depends on whether I can put bones in them or not. If I can put bones in them, we're okay. But I haven't figured out how to make a figure yet, and that's issue-y.
Bones. Like a skeletal frame?
Yeah, the dazzle reed.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you can move them around.
Mm-hmm.
The rigging side of it.
Yeah, I don't know how to rig yet. I mean, I'll figure it out. It's only a matter of time, but but I like this body better. This is a much better body.
It looks good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, next semester I'm learning ZBrush, so that will be a fun one. But also why I really need to start upgrading my computer because I don't think mine's going to process properly. with going into high poly stuff.
Yeah, because even though I cut it down some, there's still quite a bit of poly count here. But I wanted to retain a little bit of that. I also feel like there's the original Shrek run. I had like a bump here. It was like a face. It looked pretty cool.
Ah,
Because their mouth, there's 3 mouths, and they're all right here on this underside. Today was so funny because I was just building legs with metaballs and stuff like that, and it was like going through and doing this whole thing, and it was going so freaking fast, and I was like talking about the anatomy of the chakra. It was like, you heard it here, folks, right here on the show. You now know the anatomy of this like alien creature, and it was like character design 101. You know, I was just having so much fun just building out the anatomy and the, you know, all the life forms on the planet have, instead of a double boned forearm, they've got a double boned upper arm
mm-hmm.
for extra support because that's higher up to the structure of the. So the double bone comes out of the top, but it's not a double bone. It's just a split shell piece because they're shells. They've got
Right.
shells there. So it's kind of wild. And I was just going through the entire anatomy of it, and it was just so cool. I was like, this is so much fun.
Okay, this is looking good even if it was just without an outline on there.
I know that is looking kick butt.
Instead of the quick outline of all the
Mhm.
filigree, because they're like, all right, I'm not going to try and do this all freehand.
And do a cylinder projection. Oh, hey. Looks like it just cylinder projected it correctly for once. It never does that. It never projects correctly, but it did it.
Oh,
this
wow,
time.
it did. Look at that.
It never does cylinder right. This time it did. Weird. Okay, well, I need you to be cylinder projected too, so do the same thing this time, please. Yeah, did both of them right. Oh, I'll be damned.
Nice. There you go.
Never happens that way. Real life. All right. I'll just park these guys right here. Because I've still got to put the legs in. I'll have to bring those legs back.
Those legs?
In. Yeah. His legs are going to have to come back in, so.
I thought he was a floater.
Did you see what he looks like here? That's the other shell that I was using. I like the legs. The legs are fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to make a new shell because that shell is just way too funky and weird.
That's fair.
So, but yeah, we were doing that, and then I think it looks fine. So we'll use that other shell, which is much smoother. This shell is going to be a much smoother shell. It'll look nice. Because the problem is he's too pointy, which makes him not very approachable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He just looks like something creepy in a nightmare. And so I'm going to round him a little bit more so he's round. And roundy guys then don't look so scary, you know? And so he'll be a little bit easier to be an approachable alien.
More friendly, yeah.
More friendly.
I mean, that is basic shape knowledge for design.
Yeah, you use this for the bad guys.
You use more jagged edges for bad guys, more soft edges for good guys.
I mean, I could try to upend the trope, but I'm upending a lot of tropes in my series, so there's no reason to do that. Besides, one could argue that they are creatures that live in hard vacuum. So hard edges probably wouldn't exist as much because there would be more chance of a crack or a pressure leak, right?
Uh-huh.
Inside their bodies, they've still got fluids flowing and things like that. So one could argue that if they had a hard edge, the hard edge would snap and all of their fluid would blow out into space.
Mm.
So they'd be more like balloons in a way. They would naturally form in a more balloon-like shape because balloons don't have a hard point to exit.
Right.
Physics 101. So it would make sense that Chakrana wouldn't be hard-edged, I guess is really what I'm kind of coming down to. They'd look balloony, a little bit like they've been made by balloons.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing is I did like this beak on the front there. So I'm thinking I might figure out a way to put the beak back in. I'll have to figure that out. So, okay, well, we did good.
We did.
You and me.
Yeah, we did some good work tonight.
Yeah, but this guy's gonna look nicer. He's gonna look less terrifying.
I like him.
That'll be
He
good.
looks like something like a water creature.
Right. Less terrifying. Little wings and stuff like that. I do like that they are tri-lobed. So they're tri-symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cool. Okay.
Awesome.
I should just import back in the leg pieces and then just remap them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably do that tomorrow. Tomorrow during the show. Unfortunately, I know that I will get nothing done over the weekend.
Oh yeah, no.
Because I mean, we've got Starfest, and then Saturday I've got Starfest right up until I'm GMing a D&D game.
Oh yeah, you do your Yep, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I'm GMing, or DMing. So
That's a lot of work.
I guess you DM a D&D game and you GM everything else. It just seems silly to me.
Well,
It's okay.
You're not wrong.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so anyway, okay. I am OOH, and so are you. Thank you for joining me, Bolton. Thanks for joining me, Donald. It was good to have you here, and Brent too. Even though Brent went to bed, we won't hold that against him. And I'll see you tomorrow if you show up. If not, that's also okay.
I'll let you know.
So, cool. Well, good night, everybody. Bye-bye.